Halloween and All Saints. What is it? Why do we celebrate it? I just don't understand. Here is a brief explanation as to what Halloween actually means. Where did it come from? Halloween is on the 31st of October. Now, it used to be the festival Samhain. Samhain is an old Celtic festival over 2,000 years ago. They would celebrate the end of summer and the nice weather and the crops growing and the flowers blooming, and they would have this celebration which meant the end of everything living and the beginning of everything dead. Now, little bit after little bit, it's become All Hallows Eve, and Hallow was spiritual. So, of course, the church got involved and it all became about religion and about the passing of life as a human from one world to another world. So that's where Halloween comes from. It's Hallows Eve, which is an English word and dates thousands of years ago. Now, of course, a lot of our symbols today come from the commercialisation of Halloween. It's to make money. So the pumpkins and the ghosts and the trick or treat and the scary movies, all of that is all part of our society and how it's all about making money. So none of that actually existed way back 2,000 years ago. It was more a festival of the passing of life and the beginning of death. Now, of course, when we're talking about seasons, we all know that winter's coming and there's nothing growing in the garden and the days are shorter and colder and darker. But this used to be celebrated. Why? Because a lot of the population were farmers, and so they would stay a lot of the time inside. They wouldn't see other people in the communities. It was very rural, remember back then. We didn't have cities and large towns. And so there was this last celebration of saying hello to everybody in the community before you retreated back into your home for the winter months, where you stayed warm and dry in whatever home you had. And then, of course, come the spring, you would then have the Spring Festival, where everything grows and you would reunite with the whole community. Now, this is the very old origins of Halloween, but the name Hallows Eve actually sounds very much still like Halloween. So they've just put the two words together, Hallows Eve, and come up with the word Halloween, which of course now everybody knows across the world. Now, on the 1st of November is All Saints. Now, I remember as a child going to church and we had a celebration for All Saints. Now, All Saints is all about those people that you've lost through your lifetime, and you celebrate their lives. It's not a sad occasion. It's sad, obviously, if you've just lost somebody, but the idea is that you celebrate their living. You celebrate the fact that you knew them while they were alive and what they brought to you as a human. So All Saints is actually a happier celebration than Hallows Eve. It's a little bit muddled up, and over time different religions have separated the two events. It used to just be one night on the 31st to the 1st. I know in France they celebrate the 1st of November a lot more than the 31st of November. Why? Because it's a very Catholic country and the Catholics celebrate the spiritual side of being buried and remembering the dead on the 1st of November. So they've taken that part. I know in England, Halloween is the more important part of this whole celebration. But just for you to remember that the eve from the 31st of October to the 1st of November is the original date of when they had the Samhain festival, which goes right back to Celtic times. And the Celts, of course, were all over the UK and a little bit of the north of France as well at the time. So that's where Halloween comes from. It's not actually an American festival, it's an English festival. Halloween has been adopted, of course, in the USA, and they do it very, very well, I have to say. They really go to town with their decorations and their trick-or-treating. So there you go, a little explanation as to what is Halloween, what is All Saints, where did it actually come from in the first place? Now you know. Happy Halloween. Boo! Today is Halloween, so I've done you a comprehensive guide to the vocabulary that we use at Halloween. Now here, first of all, are the disguises that you can dress up in, the different costumes you can buy, and perhaps the monsters that you've heard of that surround Halloween. So here we go. We have a skeleton who's made up of bones. It's the dead body. A ghoul, which is like a ghost but slightly different. I'll explain after. Frankenstein, which is full of the stitches, you know, and the bolts through his neck, and he has stitches across his head. A monster. Now this can just be any scary monster. A headless horseman. Now here he has no head. He's taken his head off, he carries it under his arm, and he rides a horse. Then on this side we have a ghost, a witch, like me. Now a witch has a broomstick, which is a broom that we use for cleaning the floor, made of sticks, and it flies her through the sky. She also has a wand to do her magic. Mummy. Now a mummy is not your mother in this case. A mummy is a dead person that's been wrapped in bandages to preserve him or her. So the bandages. A wizard. Now a wizard is the male version of a witch. They have a hat like this, and they have a cloak that they wear around them, their cape. A werewolf, which of course comes out on a full moon and has big teeth for eating you. So here are some of the people that you can dress up for Halloween to scare people. Now, I've done a very comprehensive guide to vocabulary. The next page that you're going to see is all the words associated with Halloween to help you on this scary mode. Okay, so here are 2 verbs that you're going to need for this Halloween. Scare and haunt. Now scare is to scare you, make you jump. Did I scare you? I don't know. But scare, you can say, it is scary. Now you see the E here, we've taken it out and we've just added the Y. You'll find out all about that in another episode. It is scary. I am scared. You are actually scared. That's why it's in past tense. Here you see the D, the ED, that means it's already happened. Someone has already gone BOOM! And scared you so that it was scared. Okay? We can scare them, so we can go and we can scare them and see if we can make them scared. He loves scary movies. Now maybe you love movies that scare you every time you watch them. And then we have haunt. And haunt, remember, is to have some kind of spirit, a ghoul, a ghost, or a phantom in a place. And that makes it haunted. But the verb to haunt, we also use. Here are a few of the words that you will hear a lot around Halloween. Now, the first one is a pumpkin. Of course, everybody's heard of a pumpkin, or at least you've seen one of these. Now, what we do is we carve a face out of the pumpkin and we put a candle inside so the eyes and the nose and the mouth all light up and make it very scary for anyone to come to the house. Now you can have friendly pumpkins and you can have really grimacely, horribly decorated pumpkins. The pumpkin was to scare away bad spirits. You want the evil ones coming to your house. Friendly ghosts and spirits, okay. but you didn't want your scary ones to come. And back a very, very long time ago, people thought that by making their house terrifying on the outside, the bad spirits wouldn't come into their house. They would stay well clear. They would scare the ghouls and the ghosts and the spirits away. So this is why we have a pumpkin today. Of course, now we have smiley pumpkins and we have plastic pumpkins and we have decorations with pumpkins on. But it is important to know why the pumpkin is there. In actual fact, before there was a pumpkin, it used to be a turnip. That's what they used to use and carve, because pumpkins didn't actually exist way back then. They only had a turnip, which is kind of like a small white pumpkin, I suppose, and small squashes. And then little by little, it became a pumpkin, and of course now it's commercialised, so pumpkin is the thing that everybody buys and everybody decorates. But the idea is the same. It's to scare away evil spirits. So you have pumpkin carving. You put a candle inside your pumpkin to light it up. And in America, they call it a jack-o'-lantern. Now, I'm not sure why this is. I'm not American, I'm English. So you have to ask an American about that. But I do know that often in movies, you'll hear jack-o'-lantern. It's the same thing. It's a carved pumpkin. Another word is a grave. Now, a grave is somewhere where somebody is buried. This isn't a scary place, ordinarily. A graveyard, you see, a graveyard is where there are lots of tombstones. In actual fact, I've forgotten that word on here. A tombstone is the stone that we put at the top of the grave with the name and the date of who is buried in the grave. The burial is when we put the dead person into the ground. And then dead bodies. Now, you will have heard of movies like The Rising Dead, all sorts of movies with dead in their title. And bodies, another one. Bodies is, it's a body. We all have a body, but when we talk about bodies at Halloween, it tends to be dead bodies. And then we have haunted. Now, haunted is when a ghost or a phantom or a ghoul haunts a house. Now, what does this mean? This means that when people die, we believe they go to another place, or a lot of people believe, depending on your religion. And when that person doesn't pass to that other place, wherever that other place might be, they stay and they haunt the living. So they stay around in the form of a spirit, so a form, an invisible reflection of their living self. Now, this is a little difficult to understand if you're a young person, but you've all seen a ghost in movies. You've all seen movies with phantoms and ghouls. You've all heard of these words in the titles of movies, The Haunted House or The Ghost Returns, all these famous movies. Now, what's the difference between the three? They all haunt. They all do this. A ghost tends to be your traditional white floating thing in your house. Tends to be a little bit more friendly than the other two. So a ghost maybe wouldn't scare you if you saw a ghost. A phantom, on the other hand, is not necessarily something you'd see. A phantom might live in the attic, and every time you go up to the attic, there's nobody there. There's phantom noises. Phantom means invisible, means that we can't see it with the naked eye. That's what the word phantom means. So for me, a phantom is just that. It's a spirit that we can't see. And a ghoul tends to be a miserable ghost. So he's somebody that perhaps is not happy to be dead for whatever reason. I don't think anybody's happy to be dead, but hey. And he has a miserable look on his face, and he tends to do nasty things for the living. So he's the ones that you want to be more scared of, is your ghoul. But in any case, all of these are spirits, are spirits, are spirits, are spirits, are spirits, are spirits, are spirits. Now, Our spirit is what? A spirit is our soul, quite simply. The soul that is left behind when our body goes somewhere else. So I hope I haven't scared you too much. The idea is to give you the vocabulary for Halloween, and I hope you do some of these things and that you don't mind getting scared. I'm absolutely terrified of scary movies, so I don't watch scary movies, and I hope my hair and my hat don't scare you either. So it's still me, it's still Sam, and I'm still here to teach you English. One more time, we have pumpkin carving with a candle, a grave, graveyard, a burial, and dead bodies, and haunted. You can have a haunted house, but those are people that haunt is a ghost, a phantom, or a ghoul. So I hope that clears up a few of the mysteries around the vocabulary in sentences. So here you see haunt. The house is haunted. That means the house has a spirit living in it, or maybe more than one living in the house. A ghost haunts the house. So there we've said who it is that haunts the house. Remember, we have the S here. Why? Because it's third person singular. There is one ghost, and we don't know what the ghost is or who it is. So it's a. You see how this is coming together? Well done. And then she haunts me, same, third person. She haunts me. That can be said at any time of the year. It's when you feel like you're always thinking about somebody. Maybe somebody that has died, maybe somebody that has been particularly horrible to you. It doesn't have to be a dead person that haunts you. It can just be a nasty comment. It can be an event that haunts you. It's something that makes you feel sad or makes you feel unhappy for some reason. So Halloween haunts me. Maybe something bad happened in Halloween a long time ago, and so the festival of Halloween haunts me. You see how you can use the verb? So we have it again, scare and haunt. I'll repeat the sentences so you can hear them. It is scary. I am scared. We can scare them. He loves scary movies. And then for haunt, the house is haunted. A ghost haunts the house, and she haunts me. Just noticed, of course, here as well, you've got, because it's he, here, and here, you've got your S's all over the place. You will notice them more and more now that you know what you're looking for. Have a happy Halloween. Here are 3 things you can do this Halloween. You can go trick or treat. Now, what do we do when we trick or treat? A lot of nationalities won't understand this. When we first moved to France, they didn't have it here. We used to go out and we used to scare people knocking at their doors, and they used to ask what we were doing, and we would say, well, trick or treat, because obviously I grew up with trick or treat in England for many years, and it's very big in England as it is in America, but here in France people hadn't heard of it. It's now catching on. The last 5 years we actually have people trick or treating around the town, and you can buy things for Halloween, but before it wasn't a holiday, and I'll explain that afterwards. But trick or treat is when you go door to door. Now the trick is, if somebody doesn't give you the treat, what people want is they want the treat. The treat is sweeties, or in American we would say candy. The idea is you go from door to door with your bowl or with your basket, and you ask, give me a treat. Now, if people don't give you a treat, or they shut the door, then you can play a trick on them. And a trick is something nasty. Now, there are all sorts of things. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I've done some that I'm not very proud of in my youth, but things that you wouldn't want to find on your doorstep or through your letterbox or happening to your house or garden. So if you don't want anything horrible happening to you or your home, then give them some sweeties. It's quite simple. Make sure you have sweeties or candy tonight before they come to the door, and then you don't risk anything happening. It's very easy to do. Pumpkin carving. Now, like I've already said, the pumpkins are the round vegetable. We scrape it out. We buy special tools to scrape it out. We make a face, so we give it eyes, sometimes a nose and a mouth, teeth perhaps. And then we put the lid back on and we put a small candle inside to light up the eyes and the mouth. And so we put a candle inside. And some people will have a Halloween party. Happy Halloween. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope there's a little bit of vocabulary there that you've learned, a little bit of history of the festival, and I really do wish you all a really happy Halloween. Don't get scared too much. Have a great time. Enjoy it.